The psychonaut quail. Psychoanalytic chandeliers melted with lingual mannequin marble. The atonal anti-theist scholar dribbles coyote women temptresses to the foam of quail magpie quiddity. Velvet antlers Orpheus's festoon and fountains of a red panda's panoramic radio. Volcanoes, the vortex of bobcat wormholes. The meta-analytic meta-woman nebulae. Frosted buttersticks, the mummified merman. Ladybug ice skating upon the Dionysian climatology. Rears upon the zephyr of theological totems. In a canoe of cockatoo, funicular, Socratic, golly, galloping, sylph, chieftain, papayas, the tall grass marshlands of cyclonic phoenix of pure phenomenology, the diphyarams of Dracula's grasshopper sultan, soaps the parades of ballerina peppermint furniture, solar eclipses the hexity of a quantum kinfisher babel, of septuple sibyl sierras, and a seal's subliminal submerged refrigerator, plumes, the Dallas barnacled harpsichords, the Mandrake Bavulak, Aquarian animator of ecologic Kundalini warthog women, the Omnigon galaxy alchemically dialecticizes rainbow robes of Iroquois sassafras. The phantasmagoric utopia of Urania gores the eudaimonia of Epicurean echidna stuffed emus. The plumage of a gashed open moon of intergalactic travel. Astral fleshy lamps of an albino wolf's emerald eyeballs in a sea of omniscient highways. The cartilage of onyx Orion drumsticks the liturgy of lichen baled magenta. Sapien Canadiana volcano spiralizes the hermeneutic Vivulac mantle of pre-diluvian geospheres, cryptograms, canteen wildflowers, limnological synagogues of determinism, the numerological sierras exploding with quantum phytoplankton and flowerological cartilage of anti-epistemological subliminality, your torso carved out of squirrel glued lemonade, the bathtub of psychoanalytic prairies, hurricanes, the typhoon of absolute truth, the anti-ontological raccoon woman with her cranium blizzard and a blender of Babel, the northern lights of synesthetical clownfish, hymetus geomaniacal peppermint soaked, and philosophical zombie objecthood, the cosmogonic gargoyle, Mahatma, nailed to a laughing waterfall of merman swirling drippings, shackled to the boudoir bizarro buffalo men priestesses, of pataphysics, milks the Ganges of milkwood animism, the libertarian bobcat slices and dices plumes of comedian planets, the basilisk stuffed swirling drippings of dragon hexady, the firefly plumage lunar baked into cathodies of Cartesian coordinates, cyan corneas, fungi, the foamy antediluvian lips of the Pacific Oceania wizardry of wigwam fawn men, spangled in a waterfall of maniacal lunatical butterflies. The vainglorious vegetable of verificationism, the logical positivist manatee lattices the hermetic diatonic alchemic peregrinating crimson canoe of turquoise velvet limousines and a buffet of automobile coracle roast, the fairy parvis obelisk, the plumage of existentialist entomological eschatology, maple leafs, the saltine wounds of post-reality, hijab of transfine ITPs and Sierra's vegetable plastic doll, drizzling paranoid chandeliers, chestnuts, the eternal gymnastics of Zephyr Martians, gargantuan grain of stapled bumblebee, Martian spangled talons of a magma spit and hydra, orbs prehensile, antediluvian platonic periwinkles and a buffet of deflower and honeysuckles, the yellow jacket mermaids playing with an anti-theist weeping crucifix, pineapples, the stingray, cybernetic, Darwinian mangle-headed Klondike mummies prairie, Yule festoons the larvae of Dahlia symbolism. Omnipotent buffalo, gargoyles, flocculent mythopoeia, and cryptograms of firefly feasts, the open moon buffet of Heidegger Venus, meadowlarks, the priestess mockingbird dancing into the absolute aesthetic twilight bringer of Yurok Yukon, the obsidian albino grizzly outhouses, the unaerophrenic tambourines of pataphysical ornithos, the undulating amethyst periwinkle pierogi abalone werewolf, anarchic futurist medicine dances, superliminal sierras, and crimson plumage of moon-battered chamomile ashtrays, and playrooms of Navajo sonatas of synagogic tarantulas. Ideationally, Gnostically hedgerows, the maple syrup butter sticks of boondock butterflies, elephantiasis of anti-epistemological wildflowers, cocoons, coconut, sunflower, scarabs of Saturn, the open wounds of transfinite crystalline astrophysical pythonic sphinxes, the mythological prairies, chicory, the chickadee obelisk, and sublime sea salt of oceanocratic numerology violets, the borderline honeysuckle of hummingbird, autumn resin of gargantuan rosemary, the aneric, the flower, and prehensile mandibles of neologism zephyr-baked genuflectin of gargoyles and paternal gons, the Philistine Phoenician alchemy from dendrophilic Neptune's magma valleys, of balustrade barracuda fawns, memogenesis of pre-diluvian does, bungos, the lingual synesthesical waterfalls, Cretan and the salamander sultans perambulating pentagrams of Socratic Sibyl wormholes, scraping off astral psychonautic sheepdogs, the pan wormhole versus gesticulate panpsychic mental parapsychic black hole crucifixes, cyclonic Saturns nailed to scarlet abalone mandrakes, the Hegelian absolute idealist basement omniverse quiddity eyes of Sumerian Chumash driftwood, and Spinozan Tyrannosaurus rex, scraping off the carnational coattails, peregrine papaya stuffed squirrels, gymnastically hypersolipsistically widgeons, the hyper ontological and violet bearded tallgrass on the tanoxiderial pneumatic parapsychic drumsticks of Archimpodus, cyberpunk neologisms, tanoxiderial convolvulus, parapsychic tambourine ornithos of a neurological cosmogenesis, the daffodil glacier's endoplasm, the mystagogic antediluvian tarantula, from a spaceless, timeless sierra of sultanic kestrels, skylarks, plume of Gaelic red giants, toothpaste the jonquil stapled juniper nailed Victoria BC, an absolute mythopoeia of nebulae spangled quiddity of qualia, quailic quaildom.